Control your mind. This is Mekus with the Continence Club. I am back with another video. My email's in the description. Let me know what you need help with when it comes to controlling your mind, and I will address that in my content, in my videos. And so with that being said, I just wanted to take a step back today and, set that foundation once again, the foundation of what this channel is all about, and it's controlling your mind to go from your current situation over to your desired situation. We bridge the gap depending on what it is that you're dealing with to get you from where you are at today over to where you want to be. So the basis of everything is controlling this right here, your mind, your imagination, because you're starting to understand that mastering your own mind to be the conscious creator of your desired situation is your birthright, right? It's something that you can really do. You can be the creator of your reality, and it's not even a secret anymore. People are starting to realize this. People like yourself, I've realized this, and successful people know this. And so to start off, remaining in your current situation has always been the easiest thing to do. I know how easy it is to remain where you're at and to not really want to change because you don't really have to, you don't really feel like it, and time might not be breathing down your neck. But, the issue, as you may know by now, with staying in your current situation is that there's no evolution here. This is why you're staying in the same place. It's the reason why you keep going back, and it's like a hamster wheel effect. You keep doing the same habits that are holding you back, and you wonder why there's no growth. There's no evolution here, but it feels so easy, right, to stay where you're at, right? Why not just stay there? But there's no evolution here, and this is why you're unsatisfied in the first place. Deep down, the reason why you're unsatisfied is because you're not growing in your current situation. You want to get out of there, right? But it's so easy to stay, so it's not a bad thing, right? But you don't feel great. And this is why you feel the need to change. And it's not your fault you feel this way. It's not your fault you continue going back to your desired situation, right? Because we were brought up in a way that evolution isn't something that we necessarily chase every day. It's this, oh, stay where you're at. Oh, go back to your roots. And, you don't always have to, why are you working so hard on yourself? You don't have to really do anything. You don't really have to, you could just, live your life, right? But how has that been working out for you? But this can easily change. You can easily become the person that you want to be. And I'm going to explain that thoroughly in this demonstration today. Many people are too comfortable where they are, and this is why they will remain in the same place for years and wonder why time passed by. I know this. I've seen this in my personal life. Trust me, I know people in my personal life right now who didn't take advantage of evolution. They stayed in their current situations for years and years, and whenever a lot of time has passed them by, they're telling, the youth, the young generation, they're telling people like me that they wasted away in their current situation, and for me not to be like them. This is real time. This is happening in real life. There are probably people in your reality, in your life, who are just stuck in their current situation, similar to you, and just never did anything about it, right? But this is where you play a difference. This is where you're the difference maker. This is where you were born to stand out and not fit in, by being somebody who is going to bridge that gap to achieve that person that you want to become, to achieve that goal that you have, to achieve that desired situation. So you're starting to understand that to bridge this gap today, right, the best thing for you to do is control your mind, because all is mind. And once you control your mind, you control your life. You can do it. You really can. Although you might feel like it's impossible, right? You're in the same plateau loops. But yeah, I'm sure it's easier said than done. It is easier said than done. But it's an internal game that we're playing here. For the longest, you thought it was an external game. You thought that you had to go out and go do something and go get something, but in reality, all you have to do is go internally and experience whatever you wish to experience and feel fulfillment in there. You use your five senses to experience what you truly want to experience. I talk about this all the time in my videos, living from the end, visualization, right? Taking a deep dive and feeling yourself in your desired situation, especially before you go to sleep at night. Because whatever you experience internally, it must be reflected into the 3D. It must. It absolutely has to. This is how the world works. I tell you, if you want to test this out, just be in a bad mood. Go watch the news and go think about everything that's negative that's happening that the news is telling you about. Let that drive your internal state. Go out into the world and just be a negative person inside, and that's exactly what you're going to get. Obviously, I don't want you to do that, but I just want to demonstrate how you feel is literally the secret. It's the reason why you experience what you're experiencing right now. This is law, right? This is how the world works, So the point is, it's to fulfill yourself and to be your own source, right? Because everything ultimately comes from you, right? The 3D comes from you. Your reality comes from you. Your current situation comes from you, right? Bridging the gap comes from you. Your desired situation comes from you. It's all a reflection of your inner world, because reality only exists inside of you. The earth, the whole, everything, it's inside of you, inside this mind that you're trying to control. You see? And so the version of you that has controlled his or her mind understands that there's nothing to really do or get. I always talk about living from the end. You're almost working backwards. You're living from your desired situation, right? So in essence, there's really isn't anything that you have to go out there and really chase or get. You just got to live from the end, right? And so to get to your desired situation, you have to understand that everything is always yours. It's always been. It's just a matter of choosing it. So that's why I talk about it in my videos too, to ask yourself, what do you want? Like, what do you actually really want in this life? Because a lot of people, believe it or not, don't have clarity. I didn't for the longest. You might not either. You might not know exactly what you want, but you have to set that intention to figure it out. Remove the things that are overstimulating your mind and take the time in isolation a little bit to really understand and go out and try new things and do new things so that you can be inspired to have something to live for. Because if I asked you, what do you have to live for? Will you be able to answer that question? What gets you up out of bed every morning? You see, because evolution gets you up out of bed every morning. If you don't know what you want, you can't evolve. So evolution is constant in your desired situation because of continuous growth and learning. That's pretty much the constant here in your desired situation, evolution. That's how you got to your desired situation in the first place, because of evolution, because you controlled your mind. That's evolution, right? But it's a never ending journey. There's continuous growth, right? This is what the majority can't do these days. The majority of people, right? They don't continuously grow and learn. Matter of fact, the majority, they think it's hard to continuously grow and learn. They think it's boring to continuously grow and learn, but that's why they're in their current situations. That's why they're unsatisfied, right? And that it's time for you to make a change. So if you want your desired situation, you have to experience it now, because the internal is endless. You can have whatever you want. You really can. If you can picture it in your mind, it exists. I want you to take a second here to try to think about a new color on the color spectrum. I'll wait. You can't do it because it doesn't exist. Anything that you think in your mind exists. It does. And you can bring it into your reality by controlling your mind. So enjoy having anything that you wish. Don't concern yourself with the external. All you have to do is work on yourself internally, like literally become a better person, a healthier person, a strong person, the best version of yourself. And your desired situation will come to you as long as you set that intention and you work towards it, live from the end, use your imagination to really feel out who it is that you want to be. Everything is going to come together in due time. And so with that being said, control your mind today. This is Mekus with the Continence Club. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you on the other side. And until next time.